Hi guys, I'm Chiara Dolce. You can call me Chiara or you can call me Dolce. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you're new, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and be sure to like and share this video if you enjoy it. And if you are returning, welcome back. Good to see you. Glad you're here. I'm doing another episode of the Honey and Hot Sauce podcast, the series of the pretty girl problems. All of my podcast episodes are not going to be on YouTube, just FYI, in case you're wondering, which you probably weren't. But I just want to let you know that. But I really feel like the Pretty Girl Problem series is needed, and it needs to be on both platforms, not just audio, but also video. So that's why I'm doing these videos. So without further ado, let's move into Pretty Girl Problem number 4, reverse bullying. Now, you may have noticed that it was actually supposed to be Pretty Girl Problem number 3. I kind of hijacked Pretty Girl Problem number 3 and I made it to be about colorism because that was what was needed at that time because of the video that just came out that turned out to be about Chris Brown, most likely. Anyway, Pretty Girl Problem number 4 is reverse bullying.
What is reverse bullying, you may ask?
Think about in Legally Blonde how Elle Woods, who is Exhibit A, was repeatedly attacked just because she was the pretty girl.
Our group is full.
Oh, is this like an RSVP thing?
No, it's like a smart people thing.
Hey, maybe there's like a sorority you could like join instead, like.
You know, if you had come to a rush party, I would have at least been nice to you.
Oh, is that before you voted against me and then called me a dyke behind my back?
I don't use that word. You must have heard it from Vivian.
I also want to use myself as an example and my sister as an example because these are things that we've also experienced just because of how we look and because something that we have in common with Elle Woods is living in our pretty girl energy. Okay, living in your pretty girl energy means that you know you're pretty, you're confident in yourself, and you're not trying to downplay that. And usually women who are living in their pretty girl energy don't have an issue with another pretty girl. They're usually so confident in themselves that they are the type to be sweet and kind to another person. Pretty or not really, but they are sweet and kind to other people just out of genuine good heart. In Legally Blondes 1 and 2, people were always assuming that Elle Woods was dumb or mean or a thought just because she was pretty and lived in her pretty girl energy.
I'm sorry, are you here to see me?
No, silly. I go here.
You go where?
Harvard. Law school.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
She obviously was not the only pretty girl in the room in those movies, but she was the one who really embraced it. She was living in her pretty girl energy with her vibrantly colored clothing, her sparkles, her heels, her hair, nails done. Not saying that living your pretty girl energy means you're going to wear vibrantly colored clothing if that's not your style, but it's basically not hiding in the shadows, you know. Now, don't get me wrong, I definitely absolutely understand the whole mean girl situation and the stigma of that. And it doesn't come out of nowhere. It's there for a reason because sometimes and very commonly girls who look like that or carry themselves that way also tend to be the mean girls, the bullies. Like, that's definitely a thing and it didn't come out of the blue, but you can't assume that everybody who looks like the girl who must have bullied you in high school or whatever is the same as that girl because they're not. They're not. And they probably have no idea that you even went through something like this. And it really doesn't matter if you did. If that's all over and you've grown past it and that's in the past, leave it in the past. Don't assume that everybody who looks like that is the same way. Now, while we're talking about high school, I remember in high school, I used to be on the school newspaper. I loved it. Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. But that was one of those clubs that wasn't considered the popular kids club. It was the IB students club, and IB was International Baccalaureate. They were AKA the super duper uber smart kids, and they had this reputation for being really, really smart, but not exactly sexy. And I'm not saying they're geeks. I'm not saying they were like clumsy and Steve Urkel. Like, it wasn't like that, but they were just not the sexy type of people. Like, they weren't like the Legally Blonde, they weren't like the Elle Woods, for the most part. So anyway, I remember I was on the school newspaper, and I was also the new girl who had just come out of homeschool, so I didn't really fit into any cliques, you know. But I remember this one girl tried to come for me, and I guess assumed that because I looked a certain way, maybe I looked like some of the popular girls, she assumed that I was going to be mean and rude and dumb. And I guess she tried to beat me to the punch by trying to come for my intelligence, and I nicely corrected her, and then she stopped. I'm just going to put it that way. Side note, I was a beast in journalism, okay? Like, I've always been a pretty good writer, and so much so to the point where my journalism teacher used to always ask me, are you plagiarizing? No, Miss McMillan, straight off the dome, okay? I'm just a good writer. I know how to put these words together, make them make sense and make them sound good and make you feel what I'm trying to say. That is all. So anyway, that's just the... Anyway, another example was I was talking to this guy. I had a crush on this guy. He was just gorgeous, and I remember him telling me that he couldn't date me because I was too pretty. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he sent me the song Beautiful Girls by Akon. And you know how it goes. They'll have you suicidal when they say it's over. And I was like, oh, they'll have you in denial when they say it's over. And I was just like, what makes you think that I'm that type of girl? Like, I'm a heart girl. I'm not a hot girl. My other thing is I wonder why it has to be like some type of competition. Why do some pretty girls feel threatened when there's another pretty girl in the room? That is a serious problem right there. And obviously that's a sign of somebody not walking in their pretty girl energy. If you feel like you got to come after another pretty girl just because she's walking in her pretty girl energy, then that's a sign that you're not. Okay? Like, I've seen people actually be excommunicated from their friend group just because they were trying to pursue another level in their lives. Like, they might be trying to get in shape, or they might be getting their degree, or they might like going back to school and they stopped after a while, or there might be some new dude who suddenly is interested in her and everybody else in the group is like, kick her out, and she had nothing to do with it. I just think it's crazy how people will literally think that you are a threat, and you might not even be thinking about the same things they're thinking about. Like, they think you're a threat because they like somebody who likes you, and you're not even thinking about that dude. Like, stuff like that. Like, come on. Chill out, get your life together. It's not my fault. Just go get your man, sis. Like, nobody wants him. For the most part, that's usually how it is. My grandma had this really good phrase, this really good saying that now my sister is actually kind of using, which is cool. I'm not saying that she took the phrase, but my sister's taking the same concept and she's put it in her song, which is coming out very soon. So make sure you go follow her on Instagram at Danny_the_unicorn. The song is called Sundress, and there's an idea in it. There is a concept in it that my grandma used to always say as well. Is, I ain't call him, he came on his own. And my grandma used to be like, okay, well, if he wants you, then he'll be with you. If he wants me, then he'll be with me. Like, I'm not forcing him to be here. That's how we all need to look at these type of situations, and stop going after the other woman as a threat or as the problem, because she's not the problem. And more women need to carry this energy with them and stop blaming other women. Like, just walk in your pretty girl energy. Anyway, the same things that Elle Woods was going through in Legally Blonde 1 and 2, that's something that we deal with a lot. I remember people literally coming up to me and telling me like, dang, when I first met you, I thought you were gonna be mean. And I'd be like, why do I have like the resting B word face? Like, so literally pretty girls have to endure prejudgment literally just because of how they look. I remember watching some social experiment or something years ago where there were women that were dressed in like business attire, business casual attire, and I guess people had to give their perceptions of them, and some man was literally on there like, yeah, I think that one right there is a slut just because she looks pretty. Like, she was wearing a regular, when I say business attire, I mean professional AF, okay? Hair in the middle part, brown, just straight, like normal, modest makeup, smiling. And because she was attractive, he just assumed that she was a slut, or thought. I don't know if I can say slut on YouTube, but you know, I'm like, for real? For real. People literally are so quick to judge you and assume that you're a certain way. They're quick to label you and assume you're a certain way. We really have to change our mindset, change our thought processes when it comes to stuff like that, because like, for real, it's not right, it's not fair. And that same mindset is what causes men to abuse pretty women. It's what causes people to want to sleep with the models and not actually have relationships with them. It's what causes ghosting. It's what causes people to think that women only want money from them, that women don't want pretty women don't want relationships and don't want to be treated like queens and princesses, that kind of stuff. Like, have you ever watched 600 Pound Life, or seen those memes where people can literally be considered unattractive and they have love, they found love? Like, I look at those videos and I be like,
God, I see what you're doing for others. Do the same for me.
And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'll be working out, I'll be trying to eat right, I'll be trying to take care of myself, and all I be getting is a bunch of crazy dudes that want to bring me down a notch. Like, what's up with that? I don't understand it. And maybe it goes back to that dude that sent me that Akon song one time and was like, y'all will have me in denial if you say it's over. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it needs to change. And so I hope I made you think. I hope I made you consider this and maybe think of it in a different way than you've done before. And let me know what you guys think about this topic. Let's start a conversation in the comments. And thank you again so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Chiara Dolce and my podcast page at Honey and Hot Sauce.